Anxiety is not who I am, even though it's how I wake up a lot of the time.
Ow, ow, ow.
It's tough.
I'm allowing myself to feel awesome.
Hi and good morning, maybe. I am a generally kind of anxious person, and I have found that finding a flexible but still disciplined morning routine has really helped me just feel better during my days, feel better in my body, in my mind, and also remind myself that I am a person and I'm not just a ball of anxiety. And while my routines kind of change from day to day, the intention and the ritual and the focus is always still there. And that is to feel better in my body, to enter the day feeling grounded and at ease, and to take care of myself in some small and simple ways. I find doing simple tasks that help my body feel better as a really nice way to start the day, and also just a really easy way to start the day. So generally speaking, I do 10 minutes of oil pulling while I have my LED light mask on, and then I do some neti potting. After a decent amount of blowing my nose, I move my body, and I move my body in really similar ways every day. If you're interested in bringing in some more movement to your mornings and or your evenings, I actually created a short ebook that's $8. And truly, the ebook was inspired because I shared my morning routine on Instagram and people asked what kind of movement I was doing. And so I made an ebook for y'all. It's in the description, it's on my website, and I hope you enjoy it. And so as we progress through my mornings in this video, I'm excited for you all to see how, even though things may change a bit from morning to morning, the focus and the intention is still the same, to bring some good, stable, and fresh energy into my days and into my body.
Choose to feel more.
Will have more muscle mass, skeletal muscle, which then affects its skeletal muscle. So yes,
Free range.
so like a suitcase, remains in the bloodstream.
Trains to that muscle. I mean that the liver is.
Well, the liver exercise, and when you think about the foods and the way in which
Getting up, going to the computer.
I think there's so much interesting information out there, but this is where discernment and that skill is so essential. It's very reasonable to remove yourself from like things that feel triggering. I feel like one of my personal like superpowers is being able to really like read and listen to whatever the thing is and discern the wisdom that makes sense to me out of it. And this isn't saying like I cherry pick things from spiritual practices. That's not what I'm saying as far as discernment. I'm saying, for example, the 5 love languages. This very commonly used ideology now was created by a pretty shitty guy. I think it's Gary Chapman or something like that. Is like a raging homophobic, like uber Christian asshat. Did I know that when I read the book? No, but were some things like very like to me? Yes. However, I do think there's a lot of interesting and relevant information in there that was really helpful for me when understanding the way I wanted to interact with people and how I wanted to receive love and not how I wanted to give love, because I think this is one of like the things that gets lost because people don't read the book because the guy's kind of an asshole, but I do think it's relevant. I think there's this idea that like if gift giving is one of my love languages, then I think a lot of people think like, well, that's how I give love. And so like if you're not on board with me showing my love through gifts, then this isn't going to work. And realistically, like that's not true. Like ideally, yeah, you want someone who can appreciate the way that you show love, but with that, part of the work of loving people is loving them in ways that they want to be loved. And I think that is something that the book really helped me understand, even though the guy is an asshat. And so with that said, when I'm listening to the Huberman Lab and I hear the woman, the doctor he is interviewing say like, you need to earn your carbohydrates, do I raise an eyebrow at that? Absolutely. But I can listen to it and know that doesn't align with my value system and know it's not something I believe. and still spend time with the podcast, because I do think there's a lot of information in there that I want to know, as I want to live a long life and I want to like learn how to fuel my body well, and I can do that without feeling like I need to earn my carbohydrates. I've read like every self-help book out there, and I think that really helped me with my discernment, because it's a lot of fluff and it's a lot of bullshit, but I still think there's lessons that can be learned if you want to receive them. Like, you don't have to read a self-help book and live by every word that's said, and I think that's what gets lost a lot of the time for people. I'm curious. I've always been like curious about like biohacking and shit like that. I want to live a long life, and that's my prerogative. And so I'm just like figuring out how to do that. Trial and error. We'll see how things play out. Discipline can exist within flexibility. I think actually discipline thrives when it has flexibility, because then we have the space to really move freely, but within a certain boundary. And I think boundaries are really important because they give us the space to move freely. And so like there's a lot of different words that we can use to talk about these things. And I think in the realm of things like routines and rituals and daily practices that may be a little more challenging to get to do, I think invite us to consider a few things, but one of them being discipline and flexibility, and how we can still adhere to our discipline and work with our discipline and really gently remind ourselves, hey, this thing is actually, I like it. It's good for me, and it's not just that I want to do it, it's that I need to do it. Like, it's really good for me. While also knowing that there's a lot of space for how that thing shows up, how it looks. Like, you could stretch while you watch TV. And I bring this up because, like, my morning routine, for example, it's not rigid, but it is disciplined. Like, it has its steps, it has its follow through, it has things that I know makes sense for me. And I think, and it takes a while for things to feel like less effort. It takes a lot of effort for things to become easy. And I feel like I'm in an easeful space right now. And I think the other thing that happens is maybe in a month, this routine stops feeling easeful and I'm feeling the effort again. But if you're looking to create new morning routines and rituals, know that it's not going to start feeling ritualistic. This whole morning so far has felt really ritualistic. It's felt really dropped in. It's felt really present, really attuned and aligned to self. Was I doing anything incredibly special? No. But I'm at the point now where, since I don't need to think about the action so much, I can be a little bit more present with the experience. Enjoy like the qualities of the experience and feel just more intentional there. And that's, I think, like the special sauce that helps shift routine to ritual. But if I hadn't been doing this routine consistently, that wouldn't happen, because I would still be thinking about the actions and getting through them. And that's okay. That's just like a step in the process. Don't do too much at once. Don't add on a million things at one time. This routine took me time to build up. And that's what I always suggest to my clients as well. It's like, what's your ideal morning look like? Okay, we're gonna take 5 weeks to build that. And we're gonna break everything down, and we need to create the space first. Because I think one of the biggest things, especially with morning routines, is people wanna do X, Y, and Z, but they only wake up with enough time for Z. It's really up to you to decide what you wanna prioritize, if it's sleep or the thing you do in the morning. And if you want to do the thing in the morning, how can we also prioritize your sleep by setting things up for the night before? You know, like everything is really connected here. And that I don't have like a big nighttime routine by any means. I just go to bed at like a pretty, like, I'm asleep probably by 11, which allows me just time to get up. And so anyway, it's a layered and sticky process, but it can result in a very smooth morning or evening once you take the time to do it, knowing that you're going to have to rearrange and readjust as things shift. My routines shift, I think, kind of seasonally, but this has been a completely different overall season of life, and so this is my newest addition, trying to change my morning water to either like electrolytes. I think I'm gonna go with electrolytes. I just can't drink a jar of salt water. It's just not my thing.
To feel fantastic.
I choose to feel fantastic
Do so.
because it would feel awesome to do so.
Awesome.
I'm allowing myself to feel awesome
Spirit.
in body, mind, and spirit. I feel like that old SNL sketch, I can't remember what it's called, but it's the guy and he's looking in the mirror and I can't even remember, like, he's saying like affirmations, but the one that always sticks out is, and darn it, people like me. And that is absolutely what I feel like when I do the EFT tapping with Brad, but I love it and I'm not gonna stop because darn it, I deserve to feel awesome.
Body feel less like shit.
Yeah, drink some water, that might help. This is my mother. She's the most dehydrated woman on earth. There are patches of the Sahara that have had more water than she has.
What's up, Elizabeth? How are you? I'm Ali. Go. It's up. Right to the second part of this class. Ready? 4, 15 to 25 seconds each. 3, 2, take it up. Let's go.
I'm feeling a little off this morning. My mom just left. You know, it just changed the tempo of my morning. And I had to, I helped her bring her stuff to the car, and then I had to move my car for the tree trimmers coming. And so, like, I was, like, interacting and up with the world a little bit sooner than I usually am. And so, like, yeah, my energy feels a little off. It's, like, later. It's, like, 8:30. So I'm, like, an hour kind of later, but that's okay. I feel like a little rushed, but I think that's okay. That's normal. I'm still gonna do my things, just maybe slightly differently. And I'm still just focusing on setting myself up for a good day through a few simple, like, body steps to help my body feel like fresh for the day, and through trying to ground my energy, because generally I wake up kind of anxious. And so I'm gonna do some breath work and then my EFT tapping, which you've seen, so I probably won't show you that. But I just finished my neti pot, and something I never show is that I tongue scrape and brush my teeth. I think I've shown it before, just not here. I do that right after I oil pull. And this morning, since I am feeling that rushed, very up energy, I'm not gonna work out because I just feel like that sometimes increases that, and I'm gonna try to just like harness some of this energy. I'm gonna do a breathwork practice, and so this is like a 15-minute practice, and I'm following a video. I'm using Commune Online, and I'm doing a breathwork practice, I think with Josie. Josie Schweitzer is her name. I also have classes on Commune Online if you're on there. If you are netting and doing breathwork after, you definitely want to give it a few minutes to kind of let your sinuses settle and like things move out. And also just have like a paper towel or like a tissue or something nearby, because you are going to probably create more as you go.
There, just drop in right away. Close your eyes, plug into eyes, and just for a moment, both in the middle, in the moment, we can access memory, we can set out, embodiment. Beautiful job, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I'll see you soon.
I got dressed and I did my skincare and like a little bit of blush, which has been like my main makeup. I don't know. It feels as sticky outside as I feel internally, and I don't want to engage with it. I'm really trying to dry things out. And so I turn my AC off every time I record, but it's been on for the most part. But yeah, we've spent some mornings together at this point, and I completely understand that not everyone has the same flexibility with their time that I do. But I do think a lot of us have spaces where we don't use our time in the ways that we actually want to. I don't think morning routines have to be a huge, big thing. And more than anything, I think identifying how you currently feel during your mornings, like in 1 to 3 words, and how you'd like to feel at the end of your mornings, like when you're starting work, when you're walking out the door, whatever like your endpoint is. And I'd say identify your endpoint so that you have some kind of parameters to work within. How do you want to feel then? How do you want to feel when you sit down in your car to drive to work? And figure out what the misalignment is. Ultimately, it's as simple for me as I generally wake up feeling kind of anxious, and by the time I'm starting work, entering the world, really, that's kind of like the biggest thing. By the time I'm like entering the world, I want to feel more grounded, more collected, and generally just have like a little idea of who I am. Because anxiety is not who I am, even though it's how I wake up a lot of the time. So thank you for being here. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions or would like to see any other content, as always, please just let me know. So take care of yourselves, be nice to yourselves, take an easy breath, and I'll see you in the next video.